Hey YouTube, my name is Dan and welcome to my fish room. So first of all, thank you so much to everyone who's liked the previous videos and followed along already. That still blows my mind, so thank you. If this is your first time watching the videos, if you could give this a like, subscribe, you all know all that jazz just to help me build the channel and do more fun fish stuff. All right, this week, it's been a big week again. I'm filming this at the end of the weekend where I've done most of the work, so we'll go back and I'll show you all the labor that went into the last few days, but lots of fun stuff going on. So if I just do a quick run through for you guys, as I always like to do, we've got our snail tank set up, looking disgusting, but doing good for the snails. They're happy with that. That's awesome. I've set myself up my first shrimp tank. I've got some shrimp on order, and yeah, these guys, I'm very excited about it. And this one you'll see in the video, it was actually quite straightforward to set up. I'm all about the minimalist kind of scapes and things like that, and this should work great. Don't mind a little shrimp food over there. Jerry's doing really well in his little hospital tank. He's also got a little friend, because Mama Guppy here was looking ready to pop, and I finally got a breeding box in time, and we now have 5 little baby guppies. Yay! So she's just having a little time out, mostly because there was about 15 baby guppies this morning, and then by the time I came back down after breakfast to remove her, she'd gotten a bit snacky, so that was a bit unfortunate, but hey, we've got 5 babies, so you'll see on the video as well. Those guys are very exciting, and everyone down here is just ticking along really nicely. Okay, so then if we jump to some arrivals over on this tank, I was a little bit naughty. As if you've watched the previous videos, you'll know this is my mini monster grow out tank. This is not the final tank for any fish in here. I went to the fish shop and got some silver dollars. I've been wanting them for ages. I just think they're really cool. They look like piranhas. And yeah, the guys there had 5 left. And I just thought, you know what, why not? It just add a little bit of consistency to the tank. I don't mind the eclectic. Everything is slightly different. You know, no 2 fish are the same except for the catfish, which you never really seem to see more than one at a time. I thought, I'll have something that's got a bit of, bit of uniformity. So yeah, they're very cool. Frankie was a bit of a dick to them, to be fair, when he first went in. Learned a good lesson. Always feed the Oscar before you add any new fish to your tank. But they've seemed to have settled in quite well now. They're pretty chilled out. And yeah, so yeah, anyway, I now have my 5 silver dollars, which I try not to do spontaneous fish purchasing, but I'm sure we've all been there before. It's almost impossible when you see something you want that's in the fish shop and it's on special. And then the big stuff this week has been the Discus tank. So these guys are still kind of mid-water change, hence a bit of cloudiness, and the water is not fully up to the top. But I did a big old job. You probably won't be able to see it behind me, but you'll see it on the videos. I've upgraded the filtration, or at least one side of the filtration, mostly in prep for when I upgrade the tank to a bigger tank. So the new filter, the Samsung HW5000 is in, it's up and running, working pretty smoothly at the moment. I'm still trying to work out some of the instructions because it doesn't come with an instruction manual. But yeah, I quite like it so far. It's a nice big canister filter, seems to be doing the job. So yeah, these guys are looking good, feeling happy, and yeah, I think we'll just get straight into the video. Okay, so action plan or game plan. These 2 tanks are getting their water changes. We are then going to skip up to here. I want to move this out because this was going to be a little setup I was testing for some pea puffers I wanted to get, but that plan's just been pushed back. I'm focusing now on some stuff that's going to help bring in a bit of cash into the fish room, like my ram's horn snails. The local fish shop, I just can't get enough of them, and I've been wanting to keep shrimp for a while as well. So that probably would be okay for shrimp, but I'd rather have a bigger, larger tank if I can. So I'm going to try swapping this one out. I've got a tank just down there, excuse the mess, behind the scenes. I'm going to see if I can fit that in lengthways, kind of like I've done with this tank here, behind there. And then scape these 2, one for shrimp, one for snails, and then Jerry's going to get, I might do a tank as well. We'll see how we go. This might be a triple tank setup video. And as just a reminder, guys, in case you haven't watched the earlier videos, I go for sort of low planted, easy planting, minimalist kind of setups, like in here, Amazon sword in a terracotta pots. I've just got either floating wisteria or just wisteria that's just weighed down by an anchor. I actually need to trim some of this back. This is just, lovely, but needs to tie down. This needs to go in the back there. But yeah, this tank is looking really healthy. I'm really happy with it. We've got some dwarf water lettuce just growing. Got some hornwort, I think. Got some Amazon frog bit. I've got a little bit of everything in here. Just does need its little weekly water change. So yeah, so these scapes are going to be like practical more, you know, like breeding, growing, raising the shrimp. Alright, so water changes are done. That's still just there. It's going to take a little while to clear up. I just cut back the wisteria and well, not planted, but just popped it down there. We got a little bit of muck. That filter desperately needs a change, but I'm actually going to use it for a new tank setup in a week's time. So I figured that can just stay there for now. That's fine. Parameters are all good. That's always what I kind of chase, the parameters, and you know, the water being good quality. I'm just zooming in here because oh, she is ready to pop. Okay, she's going to have to come out today, I reckon. She's got a bit of dust and dirt on you there. Look at you. Ah, these guys look so good. They're starting to colour up. They should go more of a deep red, but right now they're just still more of an orange. But they're only young. They're about 5-6 months maybe. I'm not a massive angelfish guy, but these guys are very pretty. Again, ignore all the dirt in the water. I kind of kicked some stuff up. Lengthways, it just fits. If I come around the side here, you can see where I've put the... Let me just try and get that right over. The camera's on the wrong end, but basically it's just right on the very edge of this piece of wood here. It's a 60 centimeter tank lengthways, and this is a 60 centimeter board, plus the padding. I had to cut the extra bit out, which you would have seen. I think it's looking pretty good. It's got a little bit of sand. I'm just going to give it a last little clean up, but the front is good. And again, I don't necessarily chase everything needing to look 100% pretty. So I'm going to fill this up with the shrimp substrate. I'm going to put actually that Amazon sword and plant it in here because the substrate is plant friendly and stuff. I'll chuck that wood in there as well. I've got a few little bits of wood for the shrimps, for the snails. Trying to aim and do them all this weekend, but I've got a lot to do with these guys tomorrow because that tank is getting really dirty, and I've got a new filter that I want to set up and get some test runs before the new tank gets into place, so I know how to do it all. But yeah, I'm just going to fill that up with some substrate, put the moss and rock for poor old Jerry. He's going to have to lose that, but that's okay. Alright, so we have baby guppies. You can just about make them out here in the netting. I really like this netting because it's this breeding box type thing, because it just allows so much like better water flow through. This is the first time I've actually managed to time it properly and have this and get Mama Guppy in time so that she doesn't just eat the babies. They're all just, I think they've all literally just popped. I've just come down for the first morning check-in and breakfast and everything. And yeah, we've got, well, that's some poop there, but we've got a good few baby guppies all around. Oh yeah, it's hard to see them on camera because of the netting. But we've got some there. Some of them are a bit more active. Some of them are just kind of a bit shocked, I think, and just getting used to the world. And after resting overnight, this is looking crystal clear, which is always nice. This is just my little, it's just a little Kmart filter that I just stuff this full of filter floss and just chuck it in. And just let that run, and it just gets any little dirts and particles out the water. I think it does just a really good job. I only filled it up this much because that was all the water that was in the red tank. that I use to prep my water, so I will top that up today. And the shrimp are on order. They'll be here hopefully in the next couple of days. So, but yeah, just clear. I'm thinking I might move this wood to a different tank because it's such a nice piece of wood, like lengthways. It's kind of wasted in this tank. You can't really see it, but I'll see how I go. I mean, I could always just buy more wood. And then these guys, messy as anything, but look at the colours starting to pop on these guys now. Whoa. Apologies just for snail poo everywhere, but just so bright red. So again, yeah, this shelf is essentially going to become like the money-making shelf. So I've got snails, shrimp, and then, well, guppies. To be fair, the guppies will probably go in here with the shrimp and the snails, and Jerry can have his own house, but we'll figure that out. Running kind of out of tanks and space. I suppose I could get a long low boy up here would be pretty cool. That's just been emptied out right now, and that was just my having a few too many drinks last night, which I feel a bit rough this morning, but oh well. Now, main course of action today is this tank is disgusting. The filtration just isn't doing its job. It's been needing a change, a clean-up, but the filtration just isn't quite doing its job. So I've got the Sun HW5000 that I wanted to do a bit of a test run. I think I can get it to fit around the back here. It might be a bit of a pain in the butt to do, but it's only going to be there for a little bit because then I'll be moving it and going over where my new 4-foot tank is going to go over here when I get that in about 2 months. My knife fish is just starting to get comfortable coming out during the day. They're very nervous, shy little fish, but they're stunning when they move around, especially at night. They're so fun to watch. I actually just sit down here with that's a little moonlight thingy, blue light, and it just looks gorgeous. But yeah, I don't have the main light on because it's just in a big openish tank here, and they prefer it to be a bit more built in, but I wanted it to be open so that I could just kind of track their behavior and the eating and things like that a little bit better. And then yeah, there's upgrades that come in. So anyway, for now, water is prepped. So I do this in 2 stages. I have to, because of the water we have here, I have to fill this up, heat that up overnight, and then I'll do basically, well, full 100% water change, but then it gets back up to 50 with this. And then I'll install the new filter, fill this up again, heat that up for about 6 hours, come back this afternoon and do that. But yeah, these guys are all looking good. They'll get breakfast now whilst I sort out the filter. All right, and then I was a bit naughty. I went to the fish shop and I've been eyeing up these silver dollars they had in there for ages. And so they only had 5 left. So I got the last 5. Like I said, big fish, big tanks are coming. And yeah, look at this one. This is a very fat bashir. I think I've figured out the timings with the nighttime feedings for muesli. Sorry, trying to get that to focus. Yeah, figured out the nighttime feedings and they're getting a lot of food, as you can see. That is a chunky bashir, which is good. I'll take it. They're not getting too long, but they're definitely getting thicker, which is cool. And then obviously, yeah, we've got Bluey and the catfish are doing really well. I think they've been a bit scrapping. There might be some sort of mating behavior going on. This one's got a little bit of some scales kind of scuffed, but they're armoured catfish, so they're okay, and they're eating, they're fine. And my little Severum is just getting big. Still pretty small, but it's about half the size when I got it 2-3 weeks ago. This monster, just a lovely fish, just getting big. Like, it looks like a mini version of the adults now. I know that sounds stupid, but when you first get them, they've got slightly different shapes, I found, and they just look more like babies, whereas he doesn't really look like a baby anymore. It just looks like a grown-up fish that's just a smaller version. But yeah, look, I love the orange eyes. He's dying for breakfast, so I'll do that. But yeah, so anyway, we've got 5 silver dollars in here now, along with my big fat bashir. So the sun filter is pretty much set up, the main bits of it. The reason I got this was because it was on special. I don't have any, illusions that it's going to be, an amazing FX4 kind of coverage or whatever. I like it's got a built-in UV and it's got an adaptable setting in terms of like the output and the output flow. Because Discus don't like a lot of flow, so I've actually managed to make an extra long spray bar because I got some spray bar stuff from the sun that I have over there, which works really well. Again, I don't mind the suns. Like I said, I don't have any illusions that they're going to be as good a quality, and they probably won't last as long, but for short term, for me now, this was a good sort of starting point. What I've also done is, rather than using the input, which is not very long, this does extend out, but it's not very long, I've got this PVC pipe, which is obviously safe to use in fish tanks. And I'm going to cut it so that it basically goes just above the floor. Because the biggest thing I find for the Discus is, well, at the moment, as you'll see, because my tank is disgustingly dirty, they're actually all eating their dinner. There's just so much stuff left on the ground, and when you got the pipes up there, it doesn't seem to quite get it. I mean, maybe I don't need it with such a powerful tank, we'll see. But I thought I'd give that a bit of a test, and it will also look quite nice for what I've got planned for the rest of it. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to take this 07, which I've had running for so long, I'm going to take that out. All the media is going to go into the sun, and I'm going to set the sun up and just do a bit of a test run just to see how it all goes. And it also gives me an excuse to clean the filters. I might not clean, actually what I'll just do is I'll empty that one and put any media that I don't fit into there, or like the sponges that won't fit in, I'll put into this one. So anyway, it's going to be a whole thing. Stay tuned. Alright guys, well that is it for this week. Thank you so much for watching if you've stayed along this far into the video. Please like, subscribe, follow along, leave a comment, ask me any questions. I'd love to kind of, have a bit more of a chat with you guys, or those of you that are watching the video so far. Plan for this week is not buy any more fish. I'm going to just have a week to settle in with the fish that I have got. So I got distracted there. My knife fish has just made a little appearance. Or you'll have probably have a bit of an update on them later on in next week's video. But anyway, no more new fish. Just focus on what I've got, making sure the filters are working well. The shrimp will arrive this week. Get them settled in. Make sure the baby guppies are doing all right, and just generally enjoy the hobby. Sometimes it's nice and fun when you've got all these projects going on, but sometimes it's really nice just to be able to actually just sit back and enjoy the fish. So anyway, I'll leave it here. Thank you so much, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.